everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm so glad you're back again watching another tutorial. Today we're creating a card in 5 easy steps. We're making a New Year's Day card. We're using a stamp and cutting die set from Spellbinders. It's called Good Fortune Horse. It's all about good fortune, bold spirits, wild and free. And today's card is going to be like a New Year's card because there's a greeting in here that says cheers to a strong and spirited New Year. This horse is gorgeous, and this is what the die set looks like here. And then there's a little stamp set with all the greetings, 4 greetings in total. So we're going to jump in and get started with step number 1 and create our focal image, which of course will be our Good Fortune horse. Keeping with the traditional Good Fortune horse, we're going to go with some gold cardstock, and I'm using my treasured cardstock. What we're going to do is mix and match 2 golds. I wanted a matte gold, so I think we're going to do the pearl metallic, and then I'm also going to do the brushed metallic. I think those are going to go perfect together. We're going to take the horse body, cut that out with our brushed, look how pretty that is, with our, not brushed, with our pearl cardstock. Okay, we have this extra piece, which is the legs and the ears. We're going to cut that out with that also. We have the mane and the tail. We're going to cut out with the brushed. We have the hooves of our horse. We're going to cut that out with the brushed also. And then this is the saddle of the horse. I'm going to cut this out with the brushed, with the insert, okay, and then there's decorative detail in the insert, and so you could take this and put a layer behind it so it'll stand out. So that's where the red cardstock comes in. This is a Spellbinders Cranberry. I'm going to run these through my die cut machine and we'll build a pretty horse. I love that there's 2 pieces to the mane, so you have a little flowy look. We are going to add some glue. And then I'm going to layer this piece right over the top. And then I'm going to add a little more glue. And then we can add the mane to our horse. I love that it really does give it a nice flowy look when you layer both of them together. We're going to go ahead and do the tail the same way. Okay, I think that grabbed pretty well. That's what the back looks like. Okay, let's add our leg here. There is deboss detail, so you know where to put the glue. And then I'm going to layer this right behind our horse. And then we'll add this leg also. The gold does take a little bit of time to grab, more so than regular cardstock, but it's so worth it because it's so pretty. I am going to add a little glue behind the ear, and we'll go ahead and add this ear here. And lastly, we're going to add our saddle. I'm going to, normally I'd pop the saddle up, but we're going to actually pop the entire horse up. So let's flip them around and add some foam tape. And that is our focal image. Now we're going to move along to step number 2 and create our home panel. I have some Spellbinders red cardstock. This is cranberry. And we're going to take the rounded rectangle that is in the Treat Yourself gift card holder. I chose this because it was like the perfect size we're making a landscape style card today, so I thought this would work perfect. But if you go through your stash and find a rounded rectangle die set, you could use that as well. I'm going to die cut this out. I'll be right back. And that will be my home panel. Pretty easy peasy. We're going to move along to step number 3 and create our greeting. I'm using the same cranberry cardstock, and we are going to stamp the greeting in our stamp set that says cheers to a strong and spirited new year. I'm going to treat my cardstock with my anti-static powder, and we're going to stamp with my watermark ink. I was going to go gold, but last month I did a gold greeting and I didn't didn't like it and ended up going with white. So I think I'm going to just stick with the white. So let's bring in some white embossing powder. I'm going to use my heat gun and we'll go ahead and melt this. I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to fussy cut around. I'm going to fussy cut around my greeting. And that's all there is to our greeting. I did put foam tape behind it. Let's go ahead and add our, let's add our Good Fortune horse to our home panel. And now we'll add our greeting. We're going to put this to the side. Now we're going to work on step number 4, which is creating our background. For my background today, since it is a New Year's Day card, where I thought we would create a edge-to-edge shaker. So I have some plastic. This is packaging. We are going to just trim down some of the packaging here. So I have a piece of plastic. Okay, this is going to make perfect edge to edge. I know Waffle Flower had, well, we're doing an odd size for my card front panel. Actually, this is alabaster cardstock and it measures 5 inches, 5 1/8 of an inch long by 4 1/4 tall. Okay, I did that because I want a red border on the left of my card. And then my plastic, you can see, is just slightly bigger. Okay, I'm going to bring in some score tape. This is 1/8 of an inch score tape. If you have white liner tape or if you have any kind of double-sided adhesive that's your favorite, break it out. You could even use glue if you want. But I put tape on all 4 sides. Okay, we're going to remove the release paper off of 3 of those sides. Now all we do is fold over the top. Okay, and then I'm going to fold over the opposite side, just like so. And then I'm going to trim the edge. I'm going to take my scissors and miter the left and the right here. Okay, and then okay. So I angled the edge up on this side, and then we can just fold this side over. That's all there is to that. This is what the front looks like. I'm going to go ahead and miter this side too. I just trim at an angle the corners, and then I have that extra flap that I'm going to trim off so my adhesive will stick. And that's all there is to that. You see how they're beveled in? Right there, you can see it. Okay, now's the fun part. It's Spellbinders Opalescent discs, and this is peach. Peach and alabaster just go gorgeous together. It makes a very elegant background. Add a little more here. Okay, we're going to flip this over. All we have to do is remove the release paper off of that last edge, and then we'll just fold this over. Just making sure all of my discs are flat. That's all there is to that. I'm going to go ahead and add some more tape behind here. Since we have our tape out, this is just going to adhere really nicely. I put it all around the edge and created a crisscross right here. Now we're going to bring in our card base. Okay, I mentioned the size difference. So this is where we're going to take a piece of that cranberry cardstock, and I'm going to adhere it all the way to the left. And for this, we're just going to use some glue. This is a 3/4 inch strip. I do have a little overhanging, so I'm going to trim this off. And then we can remove the release paper off of our edge to edge shaker. And then we're going to add this to the front of our card base. I'm using my score tape once more because we are adding this to acetate and I don't want it to go anywhere. Okay, normally I'd pop it up, but I think we have enough dimension here. Let's add this to the center. Okay, now we're going to move along to step number 5, which means it's time to embellish. I'm bringing in some of my Vivant. This is my Vivant gold cord. Okay, the ends do fray, but if you don't want them to fray, all you would do is add a little glue to the end. I'm going to add this over my seam and tie a bow here. I think that makes it a great accent piece, especially on the red. It makes it look really regal. Okay, now I'm also going to bring back my discs here, my opalescent discs, and we're going to add just a couple extra here on the front of the card, just maybe 3. And that's all there is to my card project for today. A fun, different New Year's Day card using the Spellbinders Good Fortune stamp and die set. So much fun. And it's really not bulky at all. Look at. And it does have that fun little element. But thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.